So welcome to Yarn Explain. We are at the Filatex India, and we are talking to Mr. Vedansh. So, uh, just tell me about your company and what you are doing there.
My name is Vedansh Bhageria. I'm the Vice President of Corporate Strategy. Our company is called Filatex India Limited. We are polyester yarn manufacturers who've been in the business since 1994. We are one of the top 5 largest polyester yarn manufacturers in the country, with an annual capacity of around 4.4 lakh tons every year, spread across 2 manufacturing units, one located in Dahej and the other one located in Darla and Nagar.
Okay. So, as you said, that you had a patented technology. So, how is this process and how much is investment?
So the technology, we built a new company, essentially a whole subsidiary owned by Filatex called Textile Private Limited. There we spent around 6 years of hard research to tackle one of the biggest problems in the global waste and climate problem, which was textile waste. Roughly 92 million tons of waste is generated every single year, and unfortunately only 1% is recycled. So, being part of one of the contributors in that waste and textile in the value chain, we felt that it was our responsibility, that we had to do something about it, because it had to come from the source. We cannot rely on other people. So we took on this journey around 6 years ago, where we wanted to tackle the problem of textile waste recycling. So essentially, we started with 2 grams of trials in a small lab at our Dahej facility, and over the course of 6 years, we've scaled that to 2 grams to 1 ton per day pilot facility. So now we have been successful in terms of recycling post-consumer, pre-consumer textile waste, whether colored or non-colored, 1 ton every single day. And this technology is something developed totally in-house with our R&D team, and for which we were granted a patent in 2022, an India patent, and we are waiting for the patents from US and Europe.
Okay. So, what is the special thing about this technology?
So, ma'am, right now, the biggest misconception in the textile industry, and especially sustainability environment, is that the world is focusing on recycling. But there are various forms of recycling. The whole world today is focused on PET bottle recycling. And they're making PET bottles into yarns and making products out of it, which they claim to the world that we have recycled an X quantity of PET bottles. But the biggest caveat of this entire process is that once a PET bottle has been recycled into a textile grade yarn or a textile grade PET chip, it can never be recycled again using the same process. So, in our eyes, what we have seen is that this is not really recycling, it is only upcycling. That you are transferring bottle waste into textile waste, because you have just extended the life and created one more end use. But recycling in its true form is when there is a circular economy involved, where if I am able to recycle this textile waste, get chips, make a product out of it, and recycle it again, and do this an infinity number of times, as you can see from our process highlighted behind me, that is the true circularity, and that is what true recycling is. And unfortunately, a solution on a commercial scale does not exist yet. There are many competitors out there in the world who are doing it. Us being part of the very core of this industry, in this value chain, which was polyester yarn manufacturers, we wanted to tackle these problems at our own. So we took on this challenge that we have to achieve this. Nobody else in the world is able to do this, but everyone wants it. There is a mandate from the European Union, the EPR mandate, Extended Producers Responsibility, which asks all the European fashion brands, and especially fast fashion brands, to recycle textile-to-textile waste. And they have been given a target that by 2030, at least 25% of your production must be coming from textile-to-textile waste recycling products only. But the problem is there's no solution. So that's why we feel this is a big game changer in the world of sustainability and textile circular economy that we'll be introducing to the world. Right now, we have a 1 ton plant, and we are investing around $35 million to set up the first commercial plant, which will go live in approximately September 2026 with a capacity of 75 tons per day, and that is annually 25,000 tons final goods, and where our input is going to be around 100 tons of textile waste that we'll be able to recycle every single day. Every single day, 100 tons.
So this pre-consumer and post-consumer, that means garment and fabrics, both.
So the cycle, ma'am, is going to start from the very start from our end, where us as yarn producers, we take our waste. We supply this yarn to a fabric weaver and mills. The waste they generate will be part of my raw material cycle. The waste created through cuttings during garment manufacturing, that is my raw material, and the garment itself is going to be my raw material. So in this cycle and this chain, there is no room for waste creation externally. All the waste that is created is recycled back again. So eventually, what you're doing is you're reducing the amount of waste that will be generated annually. Because whatever waste is generated at each cycle, you're putting it back into the system. And hence the circularity portion comes around.
So what is your next vision for this industry?
Sorry, I can't hear you, ma'am.
What is your vision for this recycling industry, and what is the market size you are?
So currently, ma'am, the market size is unknown essentially because there is no commercial production anywhere in the world. And in terms of putting a number to it, as I said, there is 92 million tons of textile waste generated annually, and the global fiber market annually is around 80-85 million tons, out of which 55% is polyester. So if we take the 25% mandate itself as well, to start with right now itself, the market is going to be around 10 to 15 million bones. But for that, the production needs to exist in the world for that market to start generating and become bigger. But we know that this is the future of sustainability and the future of textile industry, where we don't have to rely on crude oil and extracting resources from the earth, but use the already resources that we've extracted and utilize it better.
So what is the expected towards virgin and the recycling? What is the expected market size we are seeing in the next 5 years, 10 years?
Unfortunately, we don't have the numbers because the market hasn't started for them. So as we've seen, we are attracting a great level of interest from all major European governments. But because there is no commercial production and we are not likely to have one before September 2026, the market size is in tens of millions of dollars. It's just that nobody is ready to give that, so we can't be fully aware of it. But we expect this to grow drastically and at a very aggressive pace over the next 5 years. Once the first few plants start. For us also, the 75 million tons plant that we are putting up is going to be a proof of concept in terms of scalability, where scaling up from 1 ton to 75 ton is a big challenge for anyone. So once we successfully done that, after that it is only going to be a race in terms of increasing the production for us. So we're going to start and then ultimately multiplying our quantities. Hopefully every year or every few years, we're going to keep increasing our production capacities.
So how is the response for this show?
So it's been great, ma'am. In terms of yarn industry and textile industry, there's a great interest because people want to know what is happening. And it has been a great environment for us also to educate our customers, educate the normal common person that, this is what true recycling is, because a lot of people aren't aware that, what we've been doing with PET bottle recycling is not really recycling. So for us to be able to educate the customer and then for them to actually accept it, that, okay, yeah, I understand how this makes sense, how there is a need for circularity in this part. There's a need for circularity in the PET bottle industry also. So that's why there is a mandate going on for PET bottle recyclers to recycle bottle to bottle. It is very likely that we will see this same policy being implemented in India as well, how Europe has done in the next few years also, that we have to do textile to textile.
As the young entrepreneur, so what is your message to the young entrepreneurs? They should come to this industry.
It's a very exciting industry. Me personally, I can say when I joined Filatex, we were in the business of commodities. even though commodities businesses does not sound very fruitful and very intellectually stimulating, there is a lot of growth opportunity. There's a lot of research, and we have barely scratched the surface. And there are such brilliant minds, and with access to resources that we have today with AI and technology, the limit, it's limitless. What we can achieve. Where I have from this expo itself, I've been able to go to a few places where I've seen developments in yarn where we have been able to make synthetic yarns look like natural yarns at 1/3 or 1/5 the cost. That is real advancement, and that is where innovation exists. So there is a lot of room for innovation, and I think there is a lot of room for people to come into this industry and take it across the world, especially from India. If we can put our brains and the amount of collective brain power we have, we can really take it global.
Thank you so much for your time.